Most men over 50 don't miss signs of interest from women because they're clueless or slow. It's because the signs themselves have changed. She won't be giggling like a teenager or making it obvious with flirty touches. Instead, she might ask a soft, almost forgettable question, one that seems casual, harmless even, but actually opens a door. If you don't recognize it and step through, that door shuts quietly and the moment passes. You walk away thinking you had a pleasant chat. She walks away thinking, guess he wasn't into me. You didn't say anything wrong, you just didn't say what mattered. You didn't recognize the question beneath the question. And that's what this video is really about. Those hidden moments when a woman is making a move, just not in the way most men are trained to spot. Because when she's interested, she won't declare it. She'll gently test the waters with the questions wrapped in curiosity and care. But let's start with one of the most common but most misunderstood questions a woman will ask when she's interested. How old are you really? Now, on the surface, it seems harmless, even playful. But when a woman leans in and asks that, she isn't asking to check your ID. She already knows you're not 30. She's not interested in your birth year. She's interested in how you wear your age, whether you carry it like it's something to be ashamed of or like it's something that's made you richer, deeper, wiser. If you squirm or deflect, try to make a joke. Or worse, act like it's a trick question she notices, because she's not asking for a number. She's asking for your confidence. A man who says old enough to know what matters, young enough to enjoy it, or smiles and says, you want the number, the attitude, is speaking from a place of grounded assurance. He's not trying to be younger, he's owning who he is, and that's magnetic. I remember Rick, sharp guy, 64, stylish, divorced, told me about this woman he met in a jazz lounge downtown. After a bit of friendly conversation, she leaned in and said it, how old are you really? Rick, trying to be witty, shot back, too old for you? She laughed, but not the kind of laugh he wanted. The mood cooled instantly. And later, he realized he didn't just miss the joke, he missed the moment. Is when a woman asks that she's already thinking maybe. Next comes another one that sneaks in under the radar. Why aren't you married? It might sound nosy or judgmental at first, but it isn't an interrogation. It's curiosity laced with something more. She wants to know, are you emotionally open now? Is there room in your life for someone like me? But here's where many men fumble. They either open up way too much, diving into their romantic past, or they close the door with a bitter comment like, tried it once, never again. Neither of those answers give her what she's really asking for. She wants to know if you're still capable of connection, not if you're still bleeding from the past. Say something steady, real, but light. Life kept me moving, but now I've got room for something real. Or haven't found the right woman yet. Maybe until now. These kinds of answers show her that you're present, that you've unpacked the baggage and left room for something new. Take Gerald, for example. He's 67, good with his hands, quiet, gentle, met a woman in a community garden. They got to talking, just tomatoes at first. Then one day, she asked him softly, so, how come you're not married? Gerald panicked and mumbled something about how things just didn't work out. The next week, she stopped showing up. And later, he told me, I didn't realize she was asking because she was thinking about us. That's how these questions land. Light on the surface, deep underneath. Another one that catches men off guard. Do you date younger women? Some men puff up their chest and treat it like a compliment. Others get defensive, brushing it off with self-deprecation. But she's not looking for bravado or punchline. She's asking if you could see her not as a friend, but as a potential partner. She wants to know if your connection with her matters more than her age. It's not about numbers. It's about presence. Avoid the cliches. Don't list your type or make it sound like she's just the next in a series. Say something like, I don't really date by age, I connect based on energy. Or, what matters to me is how a woman makes me feel, not the date on her birth certificate. That shows maturity. That shows depth. And more importantly, it makes her feel like she matters in this moment. Not because she's younger, but because something's clicking between you. Arcus 59, well-dressed, great conversationalist, once told me about meeting a woman in a bookstore. They hit it off instantly. After sharing a coffee and a few laughs, she asked that question, "Do you date younger women?" He smiled and said, "I like women who bring good energy regardless of age." Her smile in return wasn't polite. It was hopeful. That night turned into dinner. Dinner turned into something more because he didn't miss the moment when the door cracked open. Then there's this question. What kind of woman do you usually go for? It sounds like harmless curiosity, small talk, but it's not. She's not trying to match you with someone. She's trying to see if she fits, if she belongs in your world. And most men blow it by giving a literal answer, talking about looks, interests, hobbies. It's like reading off a menu, but what she really wants to know is, am I enough for you? The better answer focuses on traits that any good woman might have. Someone kind, curious, who can laugh when things get tough. When she hears that, she's not just comparing herself. She's imagining herself fitting into your life. I remember Elliot, 62, retired firefighter. A woman he met while volunteering asked him that very question without thinking. He said, "Someone who makes the space feel peaceful just by being there." Later, she said, "I was hoping I was your type." And she meant it. Now let's talk about charm. She smiles at you and says, "Are you always this charming?" It's playful, almost teasing, but don't mistake it for banter alone. This is one of the rare moments when attraction is sitting right there between you, plain and open. She's not just complimenting you, she's watching how you hold that compliment. Do you brush it off with a joke, or do you meet her warmth with steady confidence? The best reply is simple, soft, and real. Try only when I'm with someone who brings it out of me, or I save it for moments that matter. That's the kind of response that keeps the door open gently but firmly. It tells her that you're present, that you see her, and that you're not scared of a little emotional intimacy. Alan, 68, told me about a dinner party where a woman leaned in and asked him that exact thing. He replied, "That depends. Are you always this curious?" She didn't stop looking at him the rest of the night. Now, this one might catch you by surprise. Why don't you have a girlfriend? It sounds casual, but this is one of the most revealing questions a woman can ask. She's not just making conversation. She's trying to figure out if you're still capable of relationship, of emotional connection. And if you answer with bitterness or resignation, she'll hear it loud and clear. Instead, answer with openness, with possibility. Say something like, "I've taken my time, but I'm open to being surprised." Or, "I've been working on myself, and I think I'm finally ready for something real." William, 71, sharp and elegant, had a woman ask him this at a gallery event. He looked her straight in the eye and said, "I've been learning to be a better man. Now I'm ready for a better kind of love." And that's all it took. Then comes the bravest question of them all. Would you ever date someone like me? This is as close to a confession as most women get. She's not asking, casually. She's putting her heart out there, just a little wrapped in humor, softened with a smile. But underneath, it's vulnerable. It's raw, and it's real. The wrong answer, like stalling, joking, or dodging, hurts more than you realize. With the rat reply, honest, clear, gentle, something like, "I'd be lucky if I could." Charlie, 66, ex-military, no-nonsense kind of man, told me about a walk he took with a woman he'd been slowly getting close to. One evening, under the fading sun, she looked at him and asked, "Would you ever date someone like me?" He looked at her and said, "I think I'd be a fool not to." She took his hand and kept walking. That's how you meet a moment with grace. And finally, don't forget some of the biggest signs of interest don't come from words at all. They come from her body, the way she leans in, the way her eyes linger, a soft touch on your arm, the way she laughs a second too long at your jokes. These aren't accidents. They're signals. Subtle, but real. Daniel, 70, widow, told me about a woman in his film club. She used to sit closer, touch his hand during jokes. He thought it was nothing until she stopped. And when that quiet warmth disappeared, he finally realized she had been waiting for him to notice. But the moment had passed. That's how nonverbal attraction works. It's silent, but it's powerful. And if you're not paying attention, it vanishes before you know what you missed. So, here's the truth. After 50, attraction doesn't shout. It whispers. It asks soft questions. It leans in with a smile. And when it does, your job isn't to perform. It's to notice, to show up, to meet her with honesty and warmth, not cleverness. And when you do, everything changes. Because you're not just another man, you're the man who makes her feel seen. And if this message spoke to something inside you, don't just think about it. Subscribe, like, and tap that bell so we can keep bringing real conversations to men like you, men who still have something powerful to give.